everybody. I decided to share a few tips and tricks for other twin moms. Like I said before, I'm not an expert, but these are just things that have worked well for us. Oh wait, also I want to show you guys something. The tree is still up. I did manage to get all the decorations taken off and boxed up so that, you know, that's progress. We're getting somewhere. We just aren't getting very far. But that's okay. First of all, I have to say, if you're having twins, you better hope that at least one of them, in this case, Olive is our one, enjoys being in the baby carrier, because it makes life so much easier. I can't tell you how many times I've had Olive strapped to me in the carrier because she's cranky and just wants to be held, and then I'm feeding Fable at the same time. Makes it a lot easier if one of them can be in the baby carrier. Twin parents had told me about the Baby Wise method and reading that book, and that might be helpful for me, because I know in the beginning it got really frustrating because I felt like I was constantly feeding them. Like it was a constant cycle, which in the beginning babies do have to be fed a lot, so that's just part of it. But it seemed like they never were getting a proper sleep cycle in, because they were just like eating, and then I don't think they were getting fully fed. Are you laughing at your sister? You guys are so cute. And so it was just like nonstop feeding, not enough sleeping for anybody. And then they were getting kind of cranky. So that Baby Wise book really puts a lot of emphasis on getting them fed really well so that they will sleep, like have a sleep cycle, and then have a little bit of awake time, and then feeding time, and just like a pattern like that. And that did seem to make a difference. And at this point, they will be 4 months at the end of this week, and they are sleeping like usually like a 6 to 8 hour stretch, sometimes longer, but almost always like around 7 hours. But every once in a while it's a little less, and every once in a while it's longer. It's good to have them on a really close schedule, but if it's the same exact schedule, it's not good, because as soon as Will went back to work and I was alone with them, they would wake up at the same exact time, and they would be hungry and crying, and I'd try to feed both of them at the same time, which never worked well. Oh, the other major thing is just, I mean, this is no big revelation, but basically planning ahead. Before I go to bed, the more that I get done, once I've tucked everyone into bed, because when you've got 2 babies and a toddler to care for, there's a lot of things like that will help you out if you have things kind of prepared ahead of time. Just like easy meals ready, having things really picked up around the house, which changes as soon as Ever wakes up. But having things kind of done, having diaper stations set up in various places. If you plan on going anywhere, making sure you have the diaper bag packed the night before. Making sure right before the babies wake up. Sometimes I'll see who's stirring the most. When I know they're about ready to wake up, grab whoever seems to be more awake and start feeding her first, so that they aren't waking up and crying and needing to be fed at the same time. Although I have gotten really creative. Like, there's been times, especially when they were tinier, where I would prop them up with certain things, and then I would have like blankets helping me hold one bottle and holding the other bottle with one hand. So I think it's just a matter of like getting creative, trying to get on a really good schedule. I was never like a person to be big on scheduling before, but we would be lost without a schedule now. Like when we do get off our routine, there's sometimes days when we'll get off our routine if we end up, having something else going on where we leave the house or someone's over, and if we get off our routine, it screws up everything. So at least until they get a little older, I kind of have to be really strict with making sure that they get fed at a certain time, get naps at a certain time, because otherwise it makes for a really hard day or night. So those are just a few little tips and tricks, and if any of you twin moms out there have any other questions about what has worked well, just feel free to contact me.